We are back with another episode on the Daily Vedantic. And today's episode is about the superimposition, the illusion. Then one of our recent episodes, we talked about the three radical aspects that this philosophy puts forth. Perhaps the most radical concepts that humans have ever come up with or put forth. That there is this supreme entity that you could call anything you want. God, supreme being, the ground of being, awareness, pure consciousness. But this philosophy puts forth that there is that. This infinite awareness that many call it. That's radical in its own right. But if you grew up believing in a major world religion, or you currently do, then that's not too big of a stretch, because you're probably already checking that box. But it's still a radical concept to really believe. Second radical concept is that none of this is real. This is all an illusion, or better said, a superimposition, where we, through our ignorance, and it's colloquially said, it's often said as a projection of our mind. Our mind projects a superimposition on top of what's really going on, what's really there. And we believe the superimposition. Instead of being able to see that there is a screen behind the movie, we keep just pointing at the movie and saying, no, there's no screen. That's a car chase. That is the superimposition that limits our ability to see what's behind it, the changeless behind it, that movie screen as a good metaphor. That is also quite radical. Not every day that a philosophy puts forth that nothing that you're observing is real, is what's really going on. And it's all part of the most elaborate illusion we could ever conceive. But an illusion nonetheless. And third radical concept that this philosophy puts forth is that when it comes to that supreme being, this philosophy says, you are that. That thou art. Tattva masi. The whole philosophy in 3 words. Not you, John Doe. Not me, James Bashara. Not this character we think we're playing, that we're so caught up in this world of plurality, where I am separate from you. This table is separate from me. No. That is the superimposition. This character, James, is part of that illusion. But who I am deep down, we're told, and who you are deep down in this illusion of plurality, is this reality of unity, non-dual reality. You could say oneness in the same way. For shorthand, you could say projection of the mind, but it is more of a projection of ignorance that we perceive all of these names and forms, nama rupa in Sanskrit, where the world to us is names and forms. You and me, my right hand, my left hand, my hand from my arm, my shoulder from my neck. The illusion is that these are separate, but that is just name and form being placed on top of what's really going on. The hand and the arm, or your fingers, are a perfect example of that. We say we have 5 fingers. Everyone would agree with that. You'd get no one to protest if you told them they had 5 fingers. 5 separate fingers. But where does one finger end and the other begin? Where is that spot? There isn't one. Doctors, physicists, no one has a spot where one finger ends and the other begins. And yet we're so certain we have 5. We're so certain this body is me. I've given it a name. I can see its form. I see where this form ends and another begins. Therefore, this must be plurality. I must be separate. There's a bunch of us walking around with our bodies. This body is me. And yet, take nail clippers to the nail. It's me, and then clip. It falls to the ground, and that is not me. Okay, well then, yeah, the fingernails are not you. Maybe the hand is. Okay, the hand, yeah, you could exist without the hand. Maybe go up to the arm. Okay, well, yeah, you could exist without the arm. Keep going back. And you realize, okay, well, it's actually a very small subset of this quote-unquote body that's me, that is actually tied to my identity. And what this philosophy says is pare it all back. It has as little to do with you as the car you ride in your commute to work. Purely a vehicle, not you. And this projection, this name and form that we layer, superimpose on top of what's really going on. And this term for the world, nama rupa, name and form. This layer of superimposition on top of what's really going on. What happens if you take it away? Where you no longer give names, you no longer observe form. We start to see and peel back the veil on what's really there. There is only unity where we previously saw plurality. When you peel back the veil that is name and form, what is left? Not just in language in our mind, but in identification and disidentification from all of the names and forms around us. What is left when we do that? Well, of course, everything is left. And what do you perceive? We are told what you perceive is you, the real you. That's today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. We'll see you next time.